So what is a service desk? What are the different types of customers? Okay. And what is ticket? Okay. Different types of tickets. Different types of tickets we have discussed. Okay. And incident ticket, alert ticket, all these things we have discussed. Priorities. Okay. Priority, ticket priority and impact. The what is P1, what is P2, what is P3, kind of stuff we discussed. And also I shared some videos, so how ticket will be there. And also I showed a practical also. Okay, ticket priorities, impacts. So based on the impact analysis, okay, and what is SLA, and what is SLA, OLA, UC, we discussed. Again, about a service desk we discussed. And the terminology is like what is an event, what is alert, what is incident, what is problem, okay, and what is change, what is service request, okay, like this. So we have discussed few points about a service test that is important, that is taken almost like a 2 to 3 days. Next we have started about a hardware basics, about a components. We discussed about a CPU, RAM, ROM means we discussed about a BIOS chip, and CMOS battery also we discussed. What is a CMOS battery? It is a lithium 3 volts battery which give power supply to your BIOS. And also we discussed about a BIOS settings. Okay. And we discussed about a motherboard, basic only. So that is enough. SMPS, that is a SMPS. Next we discussed about a different storage devices. Okay, mainly we discussed about a hard disk and SSD, the differences also we discussed. And of course, other devices also we discussed, but these are the main important things. Okay, and what we discussed about a boot processing. Okay, and issues at the time of booting. Okay, there will be a issues like a post failures. Example, it is post failures we discussed, right? We discussed about a bootable device not found. So what is the solution for it? Okay. So these two issues we discussed: post failure. Okay. Blank screen, black screen. Okay. That is we have discussed, and no no boot device kind of errors. Okay. No, unable to find bootable device, like those kind of stuff. Next, we discussed about a system is slow. What to do? Okay, or how to improve system speed or performance. This is what we discussed in the hardware till now. So, and along with that one, so also I told about a service management. Okay, startup management. Okay, how to manage startup apps and service management also we discussed. Okay, yes, compulsory. You must know what are the topics we have discussed till now. If you see that those things, at least to list, so you can able to remember. Okay. You can able to remember. So like this is the topic have 10. So automatically the related information also you can able to recollect it. Okay. If you have a doubt something in that one, so also you can go and check it also. Okay. There is a good possibilities also there. So part 2, part 3, part 4. What happened to this? Okay. That is not a big deal. So today, first we will go for a what is an operating system. Himanshu also came. Okay. Anybody I'm missing? Like Adarsh is not at all coming. Okay. Ajit, Amir, Ashish, Ayush, Shivam, Vaibhav, Mishra, Verma, and Vinit. It's already 10:43. Even correct message only. Okay. Guess what is an operating system? If you see this diagram, there is a hardware, operating system, and end user. Guys, I have a hardware. I have a hardware. Hardware means, so I have a CPU, I have CPU, I have RAM, I have a BIOS, means ROM. Mainly, I have a motherboard, I have a hard disk, I have a SMPS. Okay, so for a power supply. Okay, so I have a graphic card. So like I have a graphic card, for example. Okay, so I have a hardware components out there. Now I want to run an application, right? I want to do this paintbrush, or I want to work on my notepad. Even not even a big application it is, but it's just minimum application, right? I want to give some instruction to my CPU to do some calculation. Okay. So how can I do it? I'm a user. I'm using this system. I purchase a computer or a laptop and I want to give some instruction to run on a CPU. I want to do some program. I want to do run on some application. How can I able to do it? What is the requirement in between is our operating system. Okay. What is this operating system? Operating system provide a user interface and operating system run user applications. Operating system provide an user interface, runs user applications and interacts with the hardware components. Interacts with your hardware. Without operating system, you cannot use your system. You need somewhat, whether it is a Windows-based operating system or Linux-based operating system or Unix-based operating system. Somewhere there must be an operating system because you don't know how to give instruction to the CPU directly. You don't know that hardware language, like a binary language or assembly type of languages. You don't know how to give instruction directly to the CPU. Not only you, I also don't know. Okay. So people will stuck at giving a learning of instructions only. Simple. C language is quite easier as compared to giving instruction directly to the processor. Maybe if we are in engineering, if you have this chapter like a 8086 programming, 8085 programming kind of stuff, there is a hardware kit and you have to give instruction. How hard it is to give, you have to convert everything into hexacode, or at least you have to use some instruction converter assembly language instruction converter is required. Okay, this is what I'm trying to say. Okay, So what is an operating system? An operating system is a software which acts as the interface between end user and a hardware computer hardware. Okay. Every computer must have at least one operating system to run another program. Applications. You want to run any application. Maybe I want to use a Google Chrome browser. I want to use a Edge browser, or maybe I want to use a paintbrush. I want to play a games. Okay. What it is, we need an environment to run this application. Who is providing that environment? Operating system. Operating system help you to communicate with the computer without knowing main hardware kind of language. Low level languages you need to learn. Okay, not everyone is a computer geek, right? So maybe one or two persons out of 1,000 members, so maybe they can able to do interact with the hardware directly. Of course, people are building these different types of applications on some hardware, IoT kind of programming. We are doing that one. So directly we are building an application on IoT devices, Arduino Uno boards. Even that program also we are copy pasting and modifying the existing program. But whenever you execute that program, it will give some hex code. You have to burn the hex code into that Arduino Uno board, then it will function. But not everyone can able to do it, right? I want to use a device with, without worrying about how to give that program. Just I'm a Java language programmer or Python programmer. So I will open the IDE and I will do programming. I don't worry about how hardware functions. Okay, hardware language it is. It is not possible for a user to use any computer or a mobile device without having a operating system. You guys understand what is an operating system? It is act as an interface between your hardware and user. Operating system runs an application. Operating system provide an environment to run different types of applications. User interacts with the computer through the operating system because operating system provide user interface. You guys understand these points?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Next, operating system, again, two parts. Generally, so people will ignore this part for understanding certain things and troubleshooting certain things related to the operating system. These small points also very important. It's not a small point, but it is important. Guys, operating system itself, two parts. One is shell part, another one is kernel part. Operating system, kernel part is the bottom part of operating system which actually interacts with your hardware. This kernel is also a program. It is itself operating system itself a kind of software or a program kind of stuff. Okay, this kernel is can able to understand and interact with your hardware components. Hardware components and shell is another part of operating system which actually provide user interface for users like a graphical user interface or a text-based interface to give take input. Okay, so it has to take some input and do the process, right? So it need to provide some user interface and it is provide a environment to run applications. Okay, that is a shell part. You given a command, shell will understand what is your command, okay, what is your command kind of stuff, and converts into kernel understandable language. And kernel will interact with your hardware. So the kernel will manage your process, memory, hardware, devices. Okay, so like that. And shell is provide a user interface, run user applications. Okay, What is a kernel? Interacts with your hardware. Kernel manages your hardware. Disk means your storage management. I use disk, but instead of disk, you can say storage. Hardware management means total hardware management in that, and again, storage management, process management, how the process has to be run, what is the main important process should be run. Okay. For example, nowadays we are using a multitasking system. So earlier we use a single task type of system. So it is like the one by one process is executed. But in a multitasking system also, it is run process one by one, but with based on the priorities. Some process is more priority, some process is lesser priority. So based on that, it will interact. Okay, that is the process manager. So kernel decide which process has to be executed first. Okay, and network management, memory management, all these things comes under kernel, mainly hardware related process, everything managed by your kernel, a part of operating system. What is a shell part of operating system? Shell is providing user interface to interact with the user. Okay. Next, it runs in applications. It runs user commands. It runs in applications and runs user commands also. Command whatever I'm giving a input, right? So I'm drawing something, so it will understand what I'm drawing. If I open some application, okay, if I open some application, it will understand what I'm selecting. Okay, it is providing because I can able to see, I can able to do. I'm giving this command, open this application. I'm giving this command, run this virtual machine. I'm giving this command, that is close this application. Okay, that is even you are giving a command through GUI or maybe a CLI commands. For example, I am giving command from commands also. This is also you can call a commands. Like I want to see what are the sys files are in the PCs. I said clear the screen. Okay. I want to say like check the date. Okay. Like this. Now it is added. Week is also added here. Take small t. Both are no difference. What is new update it is? Okay. So what is an operating system? Operating system is a software which act as a interface. Operating system is act as a interface between user or end user and computer hardware. Operating system runs applications. Operating system provide environment to run operating system to run applications, and operating system provide a user interface to interact with the computer. Okay, operating system, kernel operating system. So kernel part of operating system actually interacts with your hardware. Shell part of operating system is interacts with the user. Okay, if you remove this kernel and shell also, you can tell what operating system can able to do it. You can see operating system can able to manage hardware like a disk management, storage management, process management, network management, memory management. Okay, and also it provide a user interaction. Okay, provide a user interface, provide a run user applications, and run user commands also. Okay, so like that also you can easily say that. Guys, understand what is the kernel and what is shell, what is an operating system?
Yes, sir.
In the shell, when you say shell, guys, shell in both Linux operating system having a shell, Unix operating system has a shell, Mac operating system has a shell, Windows operating system also shell. But Unix and Linux based shells are little different because it's a command line interfaces. So Unix and Linux currently we are using a bash shell, Bourne again shell. Bourne again shell is a bash shell is a current shell we are using for user interface purpose. Okay, and there's a lot of different shells also there. So what is this user interfaces? Command line interface. Okay, you can interact with your system using a command line interface. Okay, an example, DOS operating system is completely command line interface only. Unix and Linux operating system command line interfaces are there. Okay, I have a pure form of command line interfaces, minimal operating systems also there. Okay, it is an operating system, but only kernel based interface only. See, I use a RAM is a 512 MB only. This is full capacity system. This is basic system it is. Okay, so you don't get a graphical interface for that one. Graphical user interface. Windows is the best example for a graphical user interface. Of course, we'll get a CLI, but CLI part is very less we use it. Okay, most of the people are using the Windows, they don't know what is the basic commands also. Okay, so basic commands also they don't know, so they don't require generally because graphical user interface. Okay, what is a CLI? Command line interface. See, it is booted very faster. It is very small screen. If you see, I'm logging to this. See, I'm giving a commands like, so all are commands. I have worked in it is my one of my DevOps system. It is okay. I use it for a Ansible purpose. Okay, so yeah, we can try different things here. Okay, so I can use Docker. I think yeah, Docker is also installed. Jenkins is installed. Tomcat is installed. Okay, so this is a pure command line interface. It is. Okay, pure form of command line interface it is. I'm shutting down. So I okay. And in a Linux, I have a both GUI interface. Linux is also there. So if you go to this machine, it is a pure. It is a GUI interface is also it is provided. Okay. Next one is TUI, text based or a terminal based user interface. Okay. Text based or terminal based user interface. What is it is? Yeah, maybe you don't know. So because it's a new people you are using the C language, it's a turbo C kind of stuff. So in a olden days, like we have edit command is there. So like that. CLI actually terminal based or a text based interface is a kind of CLI, but few things you can get some mouse or keyboard, not a mouse interface. There is no mouse interface. With a keyboard, you can use the options. It displays some options, select one, and you do like that. Okay, it's a terminal based interface. Still, it is used. Okay, it is used in a Linux based system, some of a Linux based system, and also used in mm, Windows nano servers. Okay, that place they are also using a certain commands. So I use one NMTUI. Okay, see, this is terminal based interface. I can't use the mouse. I can't select with anything with the mouse. I have to use the keyboard only, just like a things only. Add to connection, edit a connection. Okay, so you add a connection, edit a connection, like that. I can able to use like this only. Okay, I'm not doing anything. Just okay. This is TUI, terminal based user interface. Okay, text-based user interface. You guys understand user interfaces, CLI, command line interface, GUI, graphical user interface. This is a graphical user interface. I can easily operate with a mouse and keyboard. Command line interface, only the keyboard. Understand, guys?
Yes, sir.
There is a types of operating system. What are the different types of operating system types can be defined in a different ways. Okay, so this is the first one of the way is an operating system. SOS and OS. SOS means simple operating system. Is example for that one is any desktop operating system is simple operating system. For example, I'm using a Windows 10 operating system. It is a desktop operating system. So I can use web browsing. I may become a client system type, means I can use a web browsing. I can able to access from network. I can able to access some things from the network like a google.com, gmail.com, mail communication. I can do it. Okay. I can play games. I can run some different applications on my system. That is simple operating system is like a desktop operating system. Example, Microsoft DOS operating system, Windows XP, Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows 11. These are all simple operating system. Okay. Next, NOS, network operating system. What is network operating system? Is like a server operating system type. An operating system provide different types of services through the network, like a DHCP service, DNS service, web services, file services, FTP services. Okay, Um, web services, mail services. Okay, so network operating system is like a server operating system which provides services to through the network to client. Okay, so examples are Windows Server operating systems are there currently 2022, 2016, 2019, 2012, 2008, 2003, Windows NT. Okay, these are all Windows Server operating systems are there. Linux operating system and Unix operating system are basically server operating systems only. Okay, so basically their usage is mainly server purpose only. Only few are used for a desktop purpose. For example, Ubuntu. Ubuntu desktop we can use as a desktop purpose and as well as a server purpose also. The both facilities are there. Okay, so that is a main point. Okay, server operating, sorry, simple operating system and network operating. This is the one part of type of operating system. And another types of operating systems is depends upon the user and task based on the user and the task. Single operating system, sorry, single user, single task. Single user, single task means only one user at a time he can able to log in. Only one user per system can able to log in either directly or remotely. Only one user can able to log in. Only one task he can able to do it. Means one command is given, next command again is given, next command, like only one by one process. Single task operating system. Example, Microsoft DOS. Microsoft DOS operating system. Single user multitask. What is single user multitask? Windows XP, Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows operating system, all Windows operating systems are single user multitask. I can run multiple tasks. See, I'm using Windows 10. I'm using a web browser. I'm using a virtual machine. I'm using a paintbrush. I'm using a Microsoft Teams. I am using a notepad. So like that, I can run multiple tasks at a time. And only one user can able to log in. I logged into this PC. If someone is trying to log into same PC, either directly or remotely, I have to sign out. So the other person has to log into this PC. Okay, only one user at a time can log into same PC, either directly or remotely also. Remotely means through remote desktop. Okay, only one user can able to log into the PC. Single user multitasking operating systems are. Multi-user multitask. Multi-user multitask. What is multi-user multitask? single user, okay? It is a Unix and Linux based operating systems are multi-user multitask. You understand already multitask means multiple tasks we can able to do at a time. What is a multi-user? Means multiple users can able to log into same single system again and again. See, if you see, this is a Linux operating system. I log in with a root account. Okay, I log in with a root account. In this PC, I have a multiple users also there. So there is a user called a student 9. It's a physical machine. Think like it is a machine. I am trying to log into this. So what happened to this? We are here on the screen. So I am going to F2, F2. Okay, F4 is working. So I am login as student 9 with the password. Is the correct password or wrong password? Anyway, it is another type of login. It is okay. Just we are not at login even first time. Okay, so like that, multiple users we can log in directly or remotely also. Okay, I'm accessing through remotely. So like this, I have to check the IP address of it. This IP address. Okay, so I log in remotely also, directly or remotely. Not one user, multiple users we can able to log in. See, I log in with another user account. Like this. Okay, guys. So what is a Unix and Linux is multi-user, multitasking operating system. Guys, understand different types of operating system based on a number of users and tasks. Based on user and task, single user, single task, single user, multitask, multi-user, multitask operating system.
Sir,
Yeah, tell me.
sir, when sometimes we open our laptop or PC, and
Mm.
we have to put the password to log in.
Yes.
But sometimes we have some people have two option of desktop or Windows, like one is the student one, or one is the uh, teachers.
Okay, good. So you have a system. Okay, you have a Windows system. I think I have a Windows system. I'm not. I have to check. No, not now. Okay, anyway. So I can create. Yeah, I have a system that is multi-user account systems also there like this, but it is currently under the domain, so I cannot show you that one. Yeah. Anyway, yes, you can. That is a good question. Normally, as one system is like a user is created. Like for example, user one is created is by default first only one account is created. So you don't show two accounts. So when you log out, it shows only one single account only. Okay, it shows only one single account if you are created only one account. If you create two accounts, you created a two accounts. User one account you created, user two account also created. So what will happen? When you log in, it shows both accounts, user one, user two, it shows. You have to select which user you want to log in, then you have to type the password. Okay, you can add another account in your PC. Of course, it won't show in my PC also because I am in the domain. And any other Windows systems, that is heavy system. No problem. Why people are not joined today? Normally it is 17, 18. Kishore Vasireddy. From where to where he joined? So that is the point. Again, in your system, you have only one account. And if you give a password to the account, so then it will display that account only. And you have to give the password. And you remove the password, you directly sign in. When you start your PC and user account will be displayed and sign in option is shows. If you click it, it sign in directly without password also. Normal in Windows systems. If you add another account, so if you create two accounts in the same PC, like user one you created, user two created. Okay. So user one will display here, user two will display here. So you have to select which user you want to log in. So then it is display that user here. That's the point I'm trying to say. So it is my one of my virtual machine. I think it is open very, yeah. So here it is. I have created and already this is a primary account. Only one account is there. So I log into that account. In case two members are using. For example, I'm a primary member. So some of my brother or a sister or maybe my nephew or maybe someone want to use my system. So I don't want to put my documents, my pictures into their faces, right? So they should not access my personal data. What is my personal data? These are all my personal data only. What are the data on my desktop? What is the data in my pictures? Okay, videos, okay, downloads. These are all documents. These are all my personal data only. Okay, these should not be accessed by other users. If I have a data in the C drive, D drive, other people can easily see and access. Okay, but they should not access my personal data. So what I have to do it? So better I will create a one more account in this one. Better I will create one more account in this PC. So this is a only one account. So I'm going to the second, like settings. Okay, if it is required only, you should create a secondary account. Why we required? You should not want to share your personal data to others. It should not be appear to others. Okay, go to the accounts. You can see is a local account. Because I opened this one for a very longer period of time, so it is slower. Why? Because of this background. You need to activate before. Okay. Go to family and others. For example, I created an account. Account name is student dev. So I want to add another account, a student ops. Okay. So for example, different user or a two number two. So like this, I click add someone else to use this PC. If you are connected to internet, definitely first it will ask for a login with a Microsoft account. So I don't want any Microsoft account here. That it is a virtual machine. In a virtual machine, we don't put our own main accounts here until unless it is compulsory to do it. Okay, I do not have this person sign in information. Add a user without a Microsoft account. Okay, I'm adding student. Student dev2. Okay, with a password or without password, I can make it. So I'm not giving any password to that one. Okay, now the secondary account is created. The first account, which is actually admin account. So the first account is administrator account. The administrator account can able to do anything in the system. They can change, they can install application, they can uninstall application, they can change settings, like if they can do disk formats, disk what we can say partitions. Okay, like the settings, they can able to do it. But this account is standard account. You can click on change account type. You can see it's a standard user. Is a standard user. Standard user account cannot able to do certain things like a changing of settings, installation of applications, uninstallation of application. Remember, these are the icons. See, there is a data on my desktop. So I'm going to sign out from this dev and log in with the dev2. So when I sign it out, initially when you see there is only one account. And now we can able to see the two accounts. See, two accounts. This is our admin account, first account. This is second account. I didn't give a password. That's it is not showing the password kind of stuff. Just sign in. Okay. Now I can able to log into the second account. So Himanshu, got it? In people, everyone. Not only Himanshu.
Yes, sir.
It will log in, it will take time. Okay, but point is in a Windows, only one user at a time. I log in with the dev2, I cannot use dev1. Okay, I want to use something with the dev1, I have to sign out from here and sign in there. Okay, we can't use both the users at a time. That's it is single user multitasking operating system. In Linux, it is not like that. Multiple users can log into the Linux system at a time, either directly or remotely also. Okay, guys, understand this point?
Yes, sir.
Not only this, we have a different types of operating systems. These are the Windows operating system, Linux operating systems, Mac operating system, or general operating system, guys. Desktop operating system, server operating systems with a different purposes, generalized operating system built by some organization from Microsoft, from Red Hat, from Oracle. Okay, so different organizations build this organization build a different operating systems for desktop and server purposes. Okay, so that is generalized operating systems. And other types of operating system is that is called a real-time operating system. Okay, what is this real-time operating system? Okay, what is real-time operating system? You know, the operating system is designed for a specific hardware for a specific purpose. For example, you know the satellite stations are there. So they designed an operating system which is works on their type of hardware for their purposes only, which can able to understand their commands only, not our commands. Okay, we don't know how it is function because of the operating system is completely different. They're designed that operating system separately. So when they're required, they will update. So not like any general update is available, you should update it. It is not like that. Okay. The real-time operating systems are designed specifically for a specific hardware types for a specific type of task purpose only. It runs a certain type of commands only. Only that related commands only it will run. Commands and applications it will run. Okay. Like a missile tracking system, aeroplanes, or maybe it's the satellite communications. So they're all designed separately. It's not a generalized operating system. It's not a Windows. It's not a direct Red Hat Enterprise Linux or CentOS. They don't use it. Ubuntu, they don't use it. They use separately. Second one is distributed operating system. What is this distributed operating system? Works on a distributed computing. It means any task is done by multiple computers, okay, with a common sharing information. So with a common platform, so they will able to function and do the task. Like my laptop run my Windows operating system, running my application. It is a single entity. But this distributed computing means a task is run by a group of computers. Okay. A task is run by a group of computers by sharing a common platform in between. That is distributed compute OS. Okay, or you can search for that one also. I don't want to go to about more things. Mobile operating system. You know, mobile operating system already. Android is a mobile operating system. You know, even Android. Some people call that Android is a not a operating system. It is an application. I don't know whether it is application or operating system, but we use in our system. Okay, so Realme or this MI, all Samsung, there are what they will use. They use a different user interface on a Android. Android is basically 2 points. Like a stock Android is both user interface and the kernel part of operating system also. Both are there. And Android basically other organization will take an Android kernel part and they develop user interface on it. So anyway, Android is one of the mobile operating system. iOS mainly for iPhones, right? iPads, Apple company. Symbian is actually from Nokia. Nokia developed its own operating system, developed its own operating system is a Symbian. Okay, it's an older Nokia mobile phones, Nokia smartphones also having a Symbian. So later Nokia tie up with the Microsoft. They use Microsoft mobile operating system on the Nokia. Okay, Luminous series. Okay, so later and again disconnected. Now Nokia is with Android, I think. Tizen, Tizen from Samsung. BlackBerry, the BlackBerry mobile phone having a BlackBerry OS. The BlackBerry mobile phone they started and they build their own operating system, BlackBerry operating system for a BlackBerry mobile phones. Windows phones, of course, Windows Phone operating system, not new one. It is from very olden days. It is there, and recently it is gone. Okay. So earlier HTC mobile, AT&T mobiles are there. So that time Windows mobile operating system is there. Later Windows 8 is become more popular with the Nokia Lumina series. And later on days Windows mobile operating system also disconnected, and maybe in future maybe will work come again. Okay. So guys, operating systems, regular operating system like desktop based and server based operating systems are there. Real-time operating system, distributed operating system, mobile operating systems also there. Desktop OS, server OSs. Okay. What is the desktop operating system? I told this is a desktop operating system, this is server operating system kind of stuff. What is a desktop operating system? What is a server operating system? I am using a desktop operating system. We are using Windows 10, Windows 11 operating systems, Windows 7, Windows 8. These are all desktop-based OSs only. What is the purpose? To run different types of applications, to run different games, data processing, programming, web browsing, multimedia, playing audio, video kind of stuff. And it is also act like a client to the server or a end user devices. You can say end user devices also. Okay. So what is the desktop operating system for like this? Okay. What is a server operating system? Server operating system to run server applications. Okay. It has a built-in server features. Okay. Has built-in server features to provide services like DHCP service, DNS service, web service, mail service, okay, etc. Okay. So what is a server providing? Different services like DHCP services, DNS services, mail services, web services, storage services, okay, different types of services it is providing. It support to run server-based applications. It support server-based applications like a Microsoft Exchange application, Tomcat application, okay, or like the Glassfish application, built-in features like IIS, Internet Information Services, authentication services. Okay, authentication services kind of stuff. Okay. Guys understand up to here? Desktop OS, server OS, different types of operating systems. No one is speaking again.
Yes, sir. That's true.
So, anyway, in this part only, just 5 minutes, we will discuss difference between Windows and Linux operating system differences. Okay, it is just a few points or highlighted points are there. Those are important, guys. Linux is actually developed by Linus Torvald. Linux is open source. Actually, Linux is not complete operating system. Linux is kernel. The kernel part of Linux is actually developed by Linus Torvald and given open source. You can go to this kernel.org, you can get it. So, లేదు.
అయిపోయింది ఇప్పుడు బ్రేక్ ఇచ్చావు
బ్రేక్ ఇస్తాను 5 minutes.
స్టార్ట్ అయింది
నువ్వు బ్రేకా?
నేను break ఇచ్చాను.
అయితే నువ్వు బ్రేక్ ఇచ్చేస్తా. నువ్వు బ్రేక్ ఇస్తా.
చేసావా
లేదు ఇది చెప్పేస్తాం అనుకున్నాను.
ఓకే
ఓకే బ్రేక్ ఇస్తాను. Okay, so you can go through this. You can download the any part, like you can download this stable version. Okay, download the stable version, and if you know the programming like a Linux kernel and shell programming, you can develop your own Linux operating system. You can develop your own Linux operating system, just like Red Hat developed Red Hat Enterprise Linux. And like that, there's different operating systems came into market based on the Linux kernel only. Ubuntu, CentOS, Debian, Fedora, SUSE, OpenSUSE, so many operating systems came from this Linux kernel only. Okay, it is a open source. What is meant by open source? The source code of an application. So the source code is available to everyone. Anybody can able to download the source code and develop their own operating system. Okay, that is a Linux operating system. Understand, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
yeah, Linux is basically CLI based, command line interface, very less use of GUI. What is the advantage of using only CLI more and lesser GUI? It will reduce hardware footprint. You've seen one of my virtual machine that is a Linux machine, only CLI. I use only 512 MB RAM. I use only 512 MB RAM for that one. So why 512 MB RAM? That is enough. That is enough to run that operating system. And I run so many applications inside. Because no GUI, not required to run GUI related process. It is a CLI. Simply, it don't require to run all GUI kind of stuff. So obviously, it reduces utilization of CPU, RAM, and storage also. So lesser the hardware footprint. Okay, it is multitask, multi-user, multitask type. Okay, and mainly we use it for a server operating system. We don't use it for a desktop operating system. And Windows-based applications, things won't work here because you don't execute any .exe files. So obviously, it won't affect with the virus, like a Windows-based viruses won't affect here. Okay. And it is a free license base, means anybody can take it and use it. Okay. So these are the main point in a Linux-based operating system. The opposite is Windows. Windows is more GUI, less CLI type. More GUI means more hardware footprint. And it is single user, single task type. But it is more user friendly, but Linux is required trained professionals. Okay, more user friendly it is. Both Windows and both desktop and server operating systems working here. And not a maximum case sensitive, but Linux is case sensitive. Windows, if you want to use either desktop OS or server OS, you need a license for it. You have to pay for a license. Okay, And Windows operating system is not a open source. It's the proprietary of Microsoft, and it is distributed by Microsoft only, not any other person or any other organization. But Linux is a kernel. Linux kernel is open source. Any organization take it and build and distribute operating system. You can find difference between Windows and Mac. That is your option. For my, I told this. Okay, guys. Understand the basic points.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now take a break. Almost like it is come back at 11:50. Okay. It's 10 minutes only. So or otherwise take more time. So 10:55. Okay. Take break. Go through once what are I told the points after your break. So come back at 11:50, 11:55. Just go once. Okay. It is today this Microsoft stopped.